the end of the song.
What's happening, everybody? My name is Joshua.
And I'm Eric.
And this is Live from the Moon, where we chat with artists we love to find out why they're so cool. We're here today to interview the Shelster and Reverb with a little bit of Delaney. But first, Eric, how you doing today? You just said you're a little tired. What have you been doing? What are you up to?
I've been grinding in my sleep, and so I felt I had to take a rest, and so I stopped sleeping.
Yeah.
And I've been playing a shit ton of Pokemon and just doing like business stuff that I wasn't prepared ever in life to be good at. I've had a nearly 10-year career, and the whole time I thought I just wasn't fucking up really bad. And that turns out to be like a number one skill,
Right.
you know? I slept through 2 meetings this week, and no one got mad at me. It's incredible.
Yeah, no, it's pretty freeing when you can just fuck up for maybe months.
Yeah.
And like nobody's gonna say, "Hey, you think you're gonna stop fucking up sometime?" But no, it like doesn't happen. So it's one of those freeing things where you really have to choose to stop playing Pokemon.
I had my favorite moment in my career last night because I was scoping out a project, and I was like, I don't want to do Facebook, so I don't think we should. And the person I'm working with was like, yeah, that's fine. And it's like I've achieved that point in my career where I can just be like, yeah, I don't want to, and it works. So I'm happy. How about you?
No, yeah, I love it. My favorite thing is quitting bands. Because like I'm an adult. I don't want to play drums for your thing. So I'm just going to say no and go on to the next thing.
That's so real.
Yeah, no, I love it. This is being recorded right after Poetry Night, the second to last Poetry Night in the current Paper Moon location. So yeah, how was the vibes tonight, Eric?
I thought the vibes were fantastic. Always weird. I feel like we're hitting these like great personality clashes. There's always like there's always things I never expected to happen going on. And you would think at some point I would learn to expect them, you know? But it's always no part of me could have predicted that my night would involve promoting 2 separate but like at the same time Buddhist meetup groups.
No, yeah, that's the magic of Poetry Night.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember like the first Poetry Night we had. This artist never came back, unfortunately, but they had some poems that they needed to like recite in like a sing-song kind of way. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
And then kind of just like that kind of like led the president that like every Poetry Night since then is going to be at least 3 things is going to be unexpected, but awesome at the same time.
Yeah. It's been incredible.
Oh, yeah. We had Cats tonight.
Yes.
Was a newbie, I think.
Yep.
Anna's friend. Yeah, Cats was amazing. I love hearing just new poets.
Yeah.
Just right off the cuff, and then like super confident on the mic as well.
If we don't get the Ryan Gosling poem
yeah.
in the inbox, I'm gonna cry.
Literally. Ryan Ledick was in the crowd tonight. He read some poetry. I know him from the local music scene, so it was really great hearing him in like a different kind of atmosphere.
Have you ever quit a band he was in?
He plays solo acoustic.
All right.
So yeah, he seems to be the one initiating the firing of musicians.
Excellent.
And then Anna B,
yeah,
as always, she dropped off some zines. And did you know about this? I feel like all of a sudden she was leading this Albany zine club.
Yeah, that started I think back in February or March. She books it up against like every other important thing I have to do.
You know.
But yeah, it's incredible work, and I have this like I have 2 minds about Anna. One, She's like a cherished friend, and I hope nothing but prosperance for her.
Right.
But also, I hope she keeps never sleeping and producing zines, because they're all so incredible.
I know.
You know?
That's like yeah, once Anna is just like this a super popular like New York Times best-selling author getting like the best sleep of their lives in like fancy hotels, we're not going to be getting this quality of work.
No,
the two and
yeah.
two does not go together. But yeah, we love Anna. We hope she gets some sleep actually.
Kind of.
But yeah, today we've got Shelby and Delaney here. Yeah, what was the first time you were aware of Shelby and Delaney?
I think at the first poetry night.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Were you at the first poetry night?
Yeah.
Nice.
I believe Shelby and Anna have made nearly every one. Shelby's been falling off a bit lately, but they're some of our day ones. Barb's been at nearly every one. I think you missed one because you were in the city. That's the only one I can think of. Shelby and Barb were like two people early on where the college kids were like, where are they? Like, if you guys ever showed up late, I would get texts that are like, where's Barb? Where's Shelby? And I'm like, I don't control these people.
Yeah. And then Delaney as well.
Yeah.
Started coming as just supporting her sister.
Yeah.
But then turns out that they're just a rock star.
I think I met Delaney in their apartment. I think that was I had no context at all. It was just like, here's Shelby's sister. And then I saw posters and I was like, oh, I know that person.
Cool. So yeah, let's pause.
Yeah.
And coming up next, we've got my interview with Shelby.
Hell yeah. Are you tired of the same old dusty paperbacks? Then zip on down to Paper Moon Bookstore, where every shelf is an adventure. Located at 42 4th Street in downtown Troy, Paper Moon's got spine-tingling horror from Clash Books, globe-trotting tales from Archipelago, eye-popping art books from P.S. Hudson, and so much more. Are magazines your thing? They've got the latest from Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, Essence, Rolling Stone, Aperture, Paris Review, The Drift, and more, hot off the press. Don't settle for the ordinary. Step into the extraordinary at Paper Moon Bookstore. That's 42 4th Street, downtown Troy. See you there.
Welcome back, everybody. My name is Joshua. This is live from Paper Moon. I've got my first guest on the show. We've got Shelby Hafener. How's it going today, Shelby?
It's good. Thank you. This is exciting.
Yeah. So we were just talking a little bit before recording about winning tickets on the radio. Have you ever won tickets on the radio?
Yeah. Well, I was a kid, so my mom did. But in 2015... one of my mom's friends like worked at a radio station on Long Island, and they had like U2 tickets, and so we went to go see U2 at MSG, and it was the same week that I saw Foo Fighters at Citi Field, and then I also went to Warped Tour that week. So I was like sunburned to a crisp at the ripe age of 15. It was great.
Nice. Yeah, the one time I won tickets over the radio was to see Juicy J at Northern Lights in Colony. So yeah, shout out Juicy J, Trip 6 Mafia, and Northern Lights. So yeah, first question here. Let's talk about musical theater.
Yes.
Because yeah, when we do our research for these interviews, we're just pretty much scrolling your Instagram till it stops scrolling.
Yes, which
And
is
so
2014, I assume.
So I saw some photos with a microphone on your forehead.
Yes.
So yeah, when did you start performing musical theater?
Yeah, so I think the first time we did like a musical, I was in mid elementary school. I think we did a musical called Everything's Groovy, and Delaney was in it too. And it was like, like a cliche, like faux Woodstock thing where it was like, the evil company wants to shut down our hippie music festival. And I was just like one of the kids, but I loved it. And I've loved theater so much, but I actually started to do it more often just in high school. our mom, we had a lot of budget cuts in, the 2008, 2009 recession, and it completely gutted our musical theater program, which is like a major part of what our high school did. And so she and this other woman, April Franzino, basically single-handedly put the theater program back together, and it was incredible. And they put on these incredible shows for, a fraction of the cost and these kinds of things. And so I was really involved in, the setting up and painting and costume purchasing and all these other things, as well as like actually being in the shows and whatever. So that's kind of like, we were really involved. And even before I was in high school, I was helping with like the costumes and stuff on the shows that like Delaney did and the years before me. So it was definitely very nice to be a part of that community, and kind of showed me that like you can do things if you're just sheerly determined and if you just don't let somebody tell you no.
Yeah, and I guess that's like a perfect introduction on just like being an artist in general. Like nobody's really handing out stages to everybody, so like yeah, if you've got something cool going on, just do it.
Yeah, and also that like more people care than you think. Like, there were a lot of people that were willing to either like work for nothing or work for very little to put on these musicals so that kids could have these experiences. And all we had to do was just find people, and that was great. And that's kind of what, like you said about being an artist, is going on here. Like, there are people who are willing to help you figure out how to make a zine, how to print these kinds of things. Like, in open mics are incredible because it is a stage for anyone. And yeah, it's just that is one thing I've learned in the last like year, is just you just gotta do it. And that people they do not care as much about if you look like an idiot or not, unless you make an absolute fool of yourself, which is kind of hard to do in poetry. It's people are gonna be like chill and nice, and
Yeah, and so since you were doing musical stuff in elementary school, you must have been pretty young when you were introduced to musical theater. What was your first introduction to musical theater?
I think it kind of like, there were bits and pieces everywhere. When I was a kid, it would come up. But one that I do remember is the movie Chicago with Catherine Zeta-Jones and Renee Zellweger came out in like 2002. And I will definitely credit that movie for being a part of like my gay awakening, because Catherine Zeta-Jones is like, she's, not a Broadway trained actress, but does an incredible job in that movie, and also is gorgeous. And it's just a great movie. And so that is definitely one of the earliest ones that I remember. Yeah.
Nice. So so then let's talk about Ursula.
Yes.
When did this happen?
So it was my junior year, so I guess it must have been 2015 into 2016. We did The Little Mermaid, and I auditioned and got the part of Ursula, which is like, I was kind of not expecting, because I was like, kid. And it became like kind of, it was when a lot of things changed for me, and I was like, oh, I can do hard things, and like I am better at things than I think I am, and putting in the work and that kind of thing. And so it was like teaching my like teenage self that things are possible and you can do hard things and be interesting and be talented in something, and it also doesn't have to take up your whole life, which is cool. I actually have an octopus tattoo that Delaney designed, actually, just to remind me of that, of being like, you can do hard things, and it might take work and it might take time, but you can do it and it'll be cool. And I remember really well, my aunt, she passed away from pancreatic cancer while we were in the middle of this production. And while Ursula's like a big part, she's not in a lot of the musicals, so they could do a lot of the rehearsals without me. And so we had gone to her funeral and came back, and they were like, are you able to do a run of like Poor Unfortunate Souls? And I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. And it was the first time I had done it in front of like anyone else. And I remember like it was so cathartic, like just kind of using the art, like as much as musicals are cheesy, they're still an art form. So it was really cathartic to just get on stage and just be angry at something that wasn't real in a situation where I was so upset and so didn't really understand what was, going on in the world, and just being like, I'm mad at a mermaid. And so it was, yeah, definitely, I would say a transformative experience for it being like a high school theater thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so we know you. The reason why you're on this podcast is because you're an amazing poet. You were the featured poet for tonight's poetry night. And your latest book, 2 Years Under My Teeth, is out now. So when did you start writing poetry?
Yeah, so I read a little bit when I was like a kid, like everyone does, when they're like, I'm going to write a book and I'll be like the youngest published author ever. And then it sucks. And that's fine. Like, you got to write. But I started writing again after I graduated college. I graduated college in May of 2020 in wonderful times. And everything was just fucking crazy. I felt like I was going insane. And because I didn't have college to focus on and kind of be like, I got to do this and I'll do this and this and this. I realized kind of like how rough my mental health was and like how much I was dealing with and that I wasn't paying attention to. And so I started writing and it became that outlet. And it became a way of just being like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Doesn't matter. I'm going to write it down. And so like I started writing for real in 2020, but I've always written like here and there since like middle school.
Has anybody inspired you to write? What were like some of the first writing that you read that kind of triggered that thought in your mind that, hey, maybe I can do this myself?
Yeah, I mean, from like when I was a kid, some of the writing was like, the classics like the Percy Jackson series, Series Unfortunate Events was like a big one for me because it is kind of weird and strange. But we also read a lot of like Roald Dahl. We read, I don't remember who the author is, but we read like Half Magic and that kind of magical realism and that kind of thing. And, I, in high school and whatever, we just, read the classics like Emily Dickinson. We read Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner and those kinds of things. And I was like, that shit's cool. But it wasn't until like in the last couple of years that I started like reading poetry as like actual inspirations and these kinds of things. But I started reading like Matthew Dickman writes a lot of the similar things where he kind of writes like very raw, to the point stuff. Like there are metaphors in there, but it's also very literal, which I think is really interesting. And I get a lot from musicians and music and that kind of thing. Fountains of Wayne is one. The band Thursday, No Devotion. Those are, and like Bright Eyes are a lot of like influences in just kind of that like not being afraid to bare yourself to people in a way that's like sometimes you can bury things in metaphors and they're easier to consume. But when you are kind of like, no, it sucks. And I'll tell you how it sucks. It's so freeing, and that was really hard to do, to get to and kind of be like, I don't have to be afraid to be honest. And so like definitely with like those, iconic emo bands and stuff like My Chemical Romance and stuff, I was like, I don't have to be scared to say how I feel because they don't. And so that's kind of like when I started writing is when I got back into like My Chemical Romance and that kind of thing. And that raw honesty is definitely a part of it.
That's cool. Like, and now do you wait until you have something to write about to start writing, or do you like designate time for yourself to start writing?
Most of the time it just kind of hits me. I'll be like, I was joking with somebody, it's like the voices tell me what to write. Sometimes like for the first Paper Moon Mag, it was themed, and so I like wanted to sit down and actually write something for it, but that I found that really difficult because it feels so like generic to me, like coming out of me. I'm like, I'm writing a poem now. Sometimes when I write longer things, I'll definitely sit down. Like the essay I read today I wrote it just about the experience that I had, and I wanted to put that down, and so like I sat down and wrote that and then edited it. But most of the poems, the reason they're so short is because they come and I just slap them on the page and move on. I've been trying to write prose more, but it is very difficult. It is not something I really know how to do. But like anything else, it's just something that I'm working on, and that I do kind of designate a little bit of time just to write prose without, it doesn't have to go anywhere. I can just write it.
Now, yeah, we've chatted about Paper Moon Magazine a little bit, and you were one of the first submissions that we received for our next edition of the magazine, issue 5. Can you tell us a little bit about the poems that you submitted together? Halloween, False Spring, New Message. Let's talk about New Message. What was the inspiration for that?
Yeah, that one was one of the ones where I like had a specific thing I wanted to say, and it came out, and it had to do with like constantly being like aware of what other people are going through. And because like I have OCD, and one of the things that come with it is that I've worked on is I would assume that if someone didn't answer me, then something has happened to them. And there have been cases where that has been true. Not very many. It was maybe twice. But I'm constantly like, I heard about this thing. How are you doing? Having trans friends and immigrant friends and just people in general. And knowing that these things are happening around them. And the most I feel like I can do is be like, hello, are you alive? And that's like, it feels so like helpless. And people talk about how like communication is really important, and that's like something that we need to do in order to keep community going. But at the same time, it feels so trite. And I feel like I just am kind of like, hope you're well. Sorry, I can't donate to your, I'm sorry you're out of rent, but I also I can't afford my rent right now. And I wish that I could come fix this for you. And I wish I had $1 billion to, but, pay for your top surgery, pay for your whatever, like, but I don't. And the most I can do is say like, text me when you're home kind of thing. And that was the inspiration, was like, I feel like the most I can do is just write a new message.
Cool. Now, aside from being included in Paper Moon magazine issue 5, do you have anything new you're working on, or something that you would like to work on?
Yeah. So I have my own book, like you mentioned before. I have a bunch of copies of it, and it's available online. But I'm not actively working on a book, but I'm collecting just poems as I write them. The working title is Opting Out of the Apocalypse. And it is just about, how things are and the way that we respond to things. But I just am trying to work consistently and read more and write more, and kind of remind myself that things don't need to go anywhere. You can just write for writing, and you need to practice and those kinds of things. So right now I'm just writing as it comes to me, and hoping that sort of the voices give me enough inspiration that I would love to put out more books, and especially with how great the first Hell Yeah Lit release was. It's incredibly done. So
true. That is very true. Do you have any advice for any poets that are looking to release their first book?
Yeah, I mean, I think just do it. I know that's a Nike thing, but like the thing that got me to do it was I kept telling people I was going to, and then I couldn't back out of it because I had told too many people. And I kept being like, I'm going to do it, I promise. And so like I didn't give myself the time to back out of it. I took the picture, I made the cover, and I was like, it's done. I am publishing it. And so I couldn't take it back because I had already put it out in the world. And like, not everything needs to be perfect. Most things aren't. And so it is better to be authentic and be existing in the world and publishing whenever and whatever, and doing it with local people. Like, I took the photo of my book is a picture that I took myself outside of my apartment. The cover design was an online friend of mine named Catherine O'Brien, who designed it for me. It was printed. My dad helped me print it. And it's distributed like places like here. And I try to have it online for download for free so that, people can just read it. And speaking of that, I had someone who emailed me. They had read my book, and they had said that he couldn't pay for it because they had no payment gateway in his country. He was from Nepal. So he really appreciated the book. So in order to quote unquote pay for it, he sent me photos of him and his daughter and his wife and his beautiful daughter, like in Nepal, living their lives. And he's like, I hope that, her joy brings you joy, because I can't pay for this. This is, I hope that this is more than enough. And I think about that all the time of like, I am so much happier have received that email and received those pictures than any money that he could have possibly sent me. And so like that is really comforting of like, it's hard now to put things out for free because, you know, things cost money, and that's true. But like being able to put this out for free has allowed me to like reach people I never would have, and take down those gateways and those kinds of things. So like, I guess the advice is like, do it. Tell somebody you're going to do it and have them hold you to it. And then like try and make it as accessible as possible.
Oh, that's awesome advice. Our last two questions were provided by the audience tonight at Poetry Night. The first question is, do you ever collaborate with your sister Delaney, aside from tattoos?
No, I mean, she's shown me things and she's been like, do you want to hear this thing I'm working on? And that's really special. Of like, there are things that are like on her records that I heard the very first iteration of, and that's really cool to be like, I was there when she wrote that. I know the original lyrics, like that kind of thing. And so I that's not really collaboration, but it is just being like living in the same place and living together and being able to see the very first draft of things is really special. And sometimes I'll wake up and I can hear her playing in the studio working on something, and it's really, I can't quite hear what she's saying, but it's nice to know that she's like working on something in the same place.
Well, that's cool. Last question from the audience. Which one of you has the coolest dad?
That was a question from our dad. We have the same dad, I should specify. I am very much like my dad, but so is Delaney. So I think I have the cooler dad. No, she's the cooler dad. She's a guitar player for her dad. And her dad's in her band.
Cool. Well, on that note, Shelby, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're an amazing guest. Coming up next, we got Eric and Delaney. Yeet. Hold the phone, book lovers. It's a double whammy from Hell Yeah Lit Publishing as they celebrate their very first year. First up, it's Mid-20s by Eric Turner. 120 pages of raw, emotional, angsty brilliance straight from the heart. And don't miss Paper Moon Magazine Issue 4, a dazzling collection of poetry, prose, and art from over 20 local artists. Snag them both today at hellyeahlit.com. That's HELLYEAHLIT.com. And get your hands on some bold, fresh, and unforgettable.
Hi, I'm Eric, and this is Delaney.
Hi.
Nice to meet you from the Belle Curves.
Yeah.
Yes. Where's that name come from?
My brain.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
When I was searching around on the internet, I found that you share a name with a Magic the Gathering themed OnlyFans creator.
I plead the fifth.
So I've spent a lot of the vape falling out of the pocket is so perfectly
We're doing so
punctuated.
good. I drank 3 Modelo's before this.
That's so real.
And I learned there's 1 gram of protein per Modelo.
You could protein load on Modelo.
Yeah,
if you're on like a high protein, high carb diet.
Right.
Do you want another?
4 grams of protein.
Yeah. That's solid enough. That's like two scoops of hummus.
Yeah, more or less. That's my entire diet. It's just Modelo and hummus.
What more could you need?
Only kind of exaggerating.
My roommates have been attacking me recently because I go through like a container of hummus every 2 days.
They don't understand.
They have no musculature.
The thing is that like you could literally survive for so long on just hummus.
That's what I'm saying.
Like mad long.
Yeah, it
They
would be
don't
fun.
get it.
What's Tuesday music?
That's so intimate. Okay. I was here in Troy actually. That's where that lyric came from.
Yeah.
And like Tuesday music is like people playing like acoustic guitars and being like so quiet and like earnest and like not the kind of thing you want to see on a Friday night. So yeah, that's what that was. It's just like acoustic guitars and earnestness.
Do you think you make primarily Tuesday music or Friday music?
It depends on the day of the week.
Tuesday music on Tuesdays?
Yeah, I try. It really genuinely it depends on what guitar I'm holding.
Yeah.
Like whatever instrument I'm playing kind of pulls out different sounds.
How long have you been playing?
Like what part?
Playing playing guitar. When did you start making music, playing music?
Well, I started making music when I was like a little tiny kid. But I started learning guitar when I was like 11 or 12. I started writing songs at like the same time because as soon as I got my hands on a guitar, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I can write songs with this.
Yeah.
This is what I've been waiting for. And actually, I had started writing music when I was even younger than that, when I started learning like piano and voice lessons and stuff. We still have some of the like little sheet music songs that I wrote when I was like 7 or 8, and I was like, this is cool. Now this I could really get into. So yeah.
Did your dad like pressure you into doing it because he wanted to be in a band later in life?
I had to pressure him
Yeah.
into playing guitar again. He had sort of quit when I was born. We have an older sister. There is a third Hafener sister.
That's 3 halves.
That's 3 halves.
We're way beyond the whole-
150%.
Yeah. 1.5 nerds.
So he had sort of quit
Yeah.
to some degree when I was born. He was in some pretty serious bands like through the 80s and early 90s. And then he was like, okay, I'm a dad now. 2 kids is more than 1 kid.
Mhm.
And he sort of, sold a bunch of guitars and kept a couple, but one of them was in the basement. And so the irony that I was the one who was like, let's like look into this a little more. Actually, I kind of like this whole like guitar thing. So
How many guitars do you keep these days?
that would take me a long time to figure out because I'm really bad at counting.
A ton of them. Are there
A bunch.
What are the mainstays?
Well, I just got a new one.
Yeah.
I just got a parlor guitar that I've been wanting for a while. It's like a 1920s little parlor
Hell
guitar
yeah.
that I'm super stoked on.
Good for Tuesday music, I presume.
Yes, exactly. My like usual acoustic guitar is like a late 60s Guild. And then my bass that I usually gig with is like a bespoke short scale that my friend James Unital put together for me. It's half Music Master and half Bronco.
Hell yeah.
And then the bass that I usually record with is 1979 Music Master.
Why use it different for recording and gigging?
The one that I gig with is like Baby Blue, which is really cute.
Mhm.
And it's really light. And it sounds good, but the Music Master sounds fucking sick as hell. So, but it's like heavy and like it's really cool, but I just really love the way the blue one looks on stage. It's kind of like part of my shtick.
Yeah.
So, we love a gimmick.
Gotta love a gimmick.
Girl needs a gimmick,
Did you experiment with other mediums, or do you?
Yes and no. I kind of do like other creative nonsense just because I feel like it. There isn't really anything else that I take as seriously as music. So like when I do other stuff, it's just kind of like because I feel like it.
What about music attracted you?
I don't know.
That's so real. Yeah.
I just like it just happened. Like I
It
feel
just
like it
worked.
started happening at the same time that I started like learning how to talk, and it was just kind of all simultaneous. Like I can't really imagine not doing it. It was never really like a decision. It just kind of, I don't know.
It just happened.
It just happened.
Yeah. I'm going to slide in an audience question here, which is, do you write your lyrics first or your melodies first?
For the last few years, it's kind of like concurrent. Like when I'm pick up a guitar, like I just kind of start, I don't know. It's hard to describe. It just kind of
It just happens.
emerges.
Yeah.
Like Shelby was talking about like the voices, But to me, it feels more like the wisps. You know, it feels like this like little thing that just kind of like appears out of nowhere that I just kind of have to be like, okay, I guess I'm going deep into the woods today, and I have no choice but to follow this like thing that has presented itself to me. So that's kind of how it feels. But we're normal. We're totally normal.
No, 100%
Totally normal, cool
Most normal
girls,
apartment I've ever been
regular
in.
style people.
Yeah,
Original
yeah.
recipe.
Yeah, everything. It feels so like young adult novel that you guys live above a record store.
Honestly, this whole thing has felt like living in a sitcom.
Yeah, I think it should.
Like, it's crazy. Like, just like two creative, weird little, sisters living over, record store in like their little town, and then they like just like that. It's ridiculous.
I have
it's
to
completely
assume,
ridiculous.
based on it, that your other sister is like the most normal person ever. Like
How
a
did you know
CPA.
that?
Like, because that's gotta be.
She's not that. I mean, she's not that normal. She's got her own eccentricities.
Yeah, just not as
But
as
she's
intense.
she's a little more mainstream.
She got the everything nice.
I'm sugar.
Yeah.
Shelby Spice.
Who would you consider your biggest musical influences? Or what? How much of it is just life and a guitar in hand?
That's probably it. Talking to the microphone here. I'm just gesticulating too much. Yeah, I think it's just like doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like just going out into the world and like being a person.
And finding those wisps.
Yeah. And just like, it's somewhere between the wisps and like the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. It's like this annoying little guy that's just like, oh, I wonder what he's up to. And I just like go down this insane rabbit hole.
The biggest thing I miss about college is having essays to procrastinate. Like that really helped the artistic production.
Yeah, no, I work from home. And so I am working just kind of like surrounded by all of like my instruments and shit. So when I need to take a break, I pick up a guitar. And lately, it's meant that I write a song, which is very annoying. Because I'm like, I don't want any more songs. I need them to stop showing up.
With the songs.
Yeah, I'm like, stop it. Just like keeping them at bay. Like, I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like I'm being swarmed. It's horrible.
No, I get it though. I had a moment recently where I forgot that I put a book out a month ago because I was like, oh, I've only done so many hundreds of words.
Yeah.
I feel like such a lazy like piece of shit. And my roommate had to be like, you put a book out, right? And I was like, yeah, but who cares? Like, I'm on to the next thing.
A book. Who cares about that? Doesn't matter. That is like the very real part of the like creative process though. It's like you reach this point of completion and you put this thing out. And by the time you get to the point where the thing is out, it's like, okay, I don't care about these anymore. Like, let's move on.
How is it?
Like, I'm done.
Gigging songs that I assume some of these songs have been written and recorded for years.
Yeah. Like, all the stuff on Subject to Change has been written for mad long. They get old, for sure. Like, we have to kind of cycle stuff through. But it's kind of tough because it's also like, I want to play the songs that people can listen to and that people might like be familiar with to some degree. And like, I do think they're good songs. Like I like them. But they are not the ones that excite me the most. And they're not the ones that I relate to the most. I also get this weird thing where when I like write or release a song that I think is really good, I'm like, oh God, I'm never going to write another good song in my life. This is it. And this is the best I'm ever going to do. And like, what if I just never write anything ever again? So it's kind of like oscillating between that feeling and again, like just wanting to not write anymore, but having no choice and songs just appearing against my will.
Constantly happening.
Yeah.
I think you can tell by the verbiage of this question that I didn't write it, but I'm going to try to deliver this as naturalistically as I can.
Okay.
Where in America has the best jams?
The best jams?
Yeah.
Like fruit preserves?
No, I believe so the full question that's been left for me is
like marmalade and
how's the jams
Compote?
in New Orleans? Where in the USA has the best jams? Any funny
like
gig
songs.
stories? Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. Well, I don't usually use the word jams. I'm usually like using the word tune. You know?
I think, this is the difference, because I would call it like, I don't even know what I would call a show. Joints, probably.
Yeah.
Like, I come from a hip hop background.
Right.
Josh is a DJ. Josh is a jammer.
Right. Okay.
DJ's jam. Tuesday music. Tuesday music tunes.
Yeah, there's tunes. Like, that's a great tune you played, man. Yeah. That was a great. I love that tune of yours. Yeah.
Yeah. And then hip hop joints.
That's so cool. Language is so cool.
Yeah.
Where in America has the best? Well, jams or tunes. Now I don't know which one we're even talking about.
I think gigs. Where's your favorite place to play?
My favorite gigs. Wherever people like us. Unfortunately, that's the answer. Why shall we laugh? That's the answer. You can't say that's not an answer. That's my answer.
When you're like,
sorry, I'm breaking character.
When you're gigging around, do you have and spend time in places to feel the culture, or is it just, go to a venue, play a show, move along?
It's kind of interesting that you asked me that, because this is something I've been thinking about a lot lately, where like when you are gigging or touring or whatever and you're on the road, like you don't really get a chance to like really hang out in a place. And so like I have spent a lot of time in New Orleans, which is a very particular place and has like a very various subcultures. I haven't actually played there yet.
Really?
I am going to be playing there in June next time I go down there. But then there's other places that I have been to very briefly that I've played, and I didn't really get a chance to like enjoy being there. I was just talking to someone recently about Montreal, and I was like, yeah, I've been to Montreal, but I was there in January, and I was there for like a gig, and it was cool, and like it was really fun. I ate poutine and everything, but it was literally like so fast.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking a lot lately about maybe doing somewhere in between like touring and road tripping and just playing some solo shows.
Yeah.
And kind of taking my time.
Yeah. And I assume booking multiple nights would help.
Yeah.
Did you eat the poutine before or after the gig?
Before. And you know what's really funny about that whole tour was every city that we went to that had like a sport happening, we kept having to wait to play our set because of the sport.
Yeah.
So literally, like in Montreal, we had to wait to play until the hockey game was over, and the bartender was like, "You can't start until the game is over. Like, you just can't do that."
Yeah.
And they were like, "And hopefully our team wins, because if they lose, everyone's going to go home and there's going to be no one at your gig."
Yep.
And this happened like 2 or 3 more times. And it happened, we went from Montreal to New Orleans, and like we ended in New Orleans. I guess I have played in New Orleans, but it wasn't my music. And so we got to New Orleans and the Saints were playing. And the bartender was like, "You can't start until the game's over. Like, you just can't do that." And they were like, "Hopefully our team wins. Otherwise everyone's going to go home." And the teams kept winning every time this would happen, and it felt very auspicious. It was very lucky.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
It
was
if that's
special.
what it takes to make the Saints win, good for them. What is Silo Recordings?
Oh, that was like a project that it was sort of the name of the studio that my dad and I had in our house on Long Island, and then it sort of became like his like Instagram presence, and yeah, I think we've kind of retired it.
Yeah.
Because we don't have our own space anymore, and I'm kind of interested in like letting other people do the recording. I don't really want to do the recording anymore.
Yeah.
I just want to boss everyone else around.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
How has, other than becoming bossier, it seems, how has the recording process changed over time?
I didn't know it could happen, but it did. How dare you perceive me? Well, we've done like a few different records and kind of doing it a little differently every time. The first Belle Curves album, which was like 2019, which I have very mixed feelings about. I think it was a good effort, but it's fine. Like I played almost everything except the drums, and like I did all my own like overdubbing and my own harmonies and everything. And then I was like, okay, that was interesting, but I kind of don't want to do that ever again. 'Cause like music is supposed to be like, in my mind, music is about like creating with other people. And so Watershed was much more live. We did a lot of that, very live, and then kind of like had people track other instruments, and we kind of flew the tracks in. And then Subject to Change, we recorded all of it, almost all of it, at our place. But it was a lot of overdubbing over live drums. So the next set of songs I want to do very live.
Yeah.
Like very, very live. So
Live in studio or live at a gig?
live in the studio, like having everyone all in a space together. And still going to be doing a lot of production and like overdubs and stuff, but doing kind of like live simultaneous overdubs is kind of the idea. So yeah, it's a lot of cats to herd on this.
That sounds like
it's a lot
production.
of people.
Yeah.
But it's going to be worth it. It's going to be good. Like my dream is to just like have all of these people whose like musicality I love and respect all in a room together, feeding off each other and letting me tell them what to do.
I was going to ask you how many, but I remembered that you're bad at counting.
Yeah, I would have to think about it really hard.
It would take
and
so long.
We just don't need to do that.
So I'll punch us out with the final audience question, not audio question. What's the rest of 2025 look like for you?
I have no idea. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I have gigs booked, but that's about all I know.
Cool. Anything you want to promote for people, or
I
just
guess,
go listen to the album?
Yeah, you can listen to the music and find us on Instagram. Oh, I just started a Substack.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Shout
There's
out
not really
Substack.
anything there yet, but there will be. It's basically like home for my newsletter right now.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of ideas, so we'll get there. But yeah,
Sick.
Instagram is the place for now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For those that like to rock, we salute you.
Hell, that's the salute, right?
Yeah.
It's been a minute. For various reasons, since 2016, I've had to cut off a lot of my military family, so I'm losing a lot of that culture.
Yes, I've been watching all the classic war movies recently.
Patton.
Patton, Full Metal Jacket,
Yeah.
Apocalypse Now. Yeah, they're also great. We just live in a world of shit.
We really do.
But,
Yeah.
so let's get into these current events.
Hell
Wrap
yeah.
up this pod. The first event here, Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park, I need to give Shelby a microphone for, actually. We should swap this back out. Hold on. That's not even a current. I can like intro some of this with Shelby came over Saturday to watch Mickey 17, and what we got was a full hour of Jurassic Park content. Here, take a seat.
Why are we talking about Jurassic Park? There's a movie coming up. My birthday.
Yeah, so what's going on in the Jurassic Park universe?
Yeah, so what happened was I got incredibly high and somebody mentioned Jurassic Park and I was like, I know about this. I have Jurassic Park tattoos, but there's a movie coming out on like July 2nd or something, Jurassic World Rebirth. I'm very excited for it. I'm going to have a fucking dinosaur birthday because I'll be 26 and I deserve.
Which is your favorite Jurassic Park sequel?
Yeah, probably the Jurassic Park 3, just because it's the most accurate to the book, which is the one where Dr. Grant comes back and they go back to Isla Sorna, and they're like, there's more dinosaurs. There's only 2 Jurassic Park books. Then the first one fits pretty well, and the second one is like Isla Sorna exists and they go back there. But it's the only one that kind of like, when you enter the like, suspension of disbelief in the Jurassic Park world, at least makes a little bit of sense of like They don't really know what's going on there. They went there anyway, kind of thing. The whole there's a T-Rex in San Diego thing is so stupid.
No,
But
yeah,
I
grabbing
love-
blood from mosquitoes.
I
Like
love-
I could do this in my backyard.
I mean, you can. What are you gonna make? Oh, they made the fucking dire wolves.
I know.
Stupid shit.
Which one would you bring back first?
Dinosaurs or dire wolves?
Which dinosaur? Well, yeah, dire wolves. They're back. So
Dire wolves are back and they shouldn't be.
hot take.
Well, they shouldn't be because you're reintroducing an animal into a world that's never experienced. Like that doesn't make any sense. And like they say in the you started me now. They say in the Jurassic Park book, it's not like dire wolves died because of deforestation. They died because that's how evolution happens. They went extinct. That's what happens. Don't bring them back. If you want to bring something back, bring back something that went extinct because we did it. Why are you bringing back dire wolves? Sorry.
Have you ever seen Game of Thrones?
No, I haven't seen Game of Thrones. But that's why they brought them back. Because it's profitable. But if I were to bring back a dinosaur, it'd be the Ankylosaurus because it's my favorite.
Nice. Thank you.
He was given to me. He gave it to me. It's not my fault.
And that was Jurassic Park talk.
Yes. The thing is, we do have to cut Shelby off because there's so much more of that. Yeah.
So yeah, this.
I think we're about to run into a separate. I can talk about our next topic for much longer than the camera's battery life.
Yeah. So we were gonna bring this up the first episode, but then we decided to bring it back for the second episode. WrestleMania was this past weekend.
Have you watched yet?
Oh yeah.
Did you watch live?
All 6 hours. Not live because living on the. I just live on the moon.
Yeah.
And I'm on the streets constantly. So
You're from the
I can't. I was just like talking to some friends. I just live on the streets. I'm just like constantly they're DJing multiple places at the same time, or like
somebody
here facilitating.
Somebody asked me the other day when I'm home. I said by request.
Right.
WrestleMania was so fucking weird.
Oh yeah.
Like
it kind of seemed just like a flashier episode of Raw.
Yeah.
Which was like usually there's like pyramids and like explosions and really like
usually there's
Motorhead,
The Rock.
You know,
like what the fuck?
The Rock's just decided to set off this insane storyline and then just like ghost at like the very last minute.
Were you a Cody crier? Have you seen this trend going around?
Yeah.
People posting videos of themselves crying because Cody Rhodes lost the main event. And Rue was one of them, and I didn't get video of it.
Well, I kind of like jumped back into wrestling recently, so it's like kind of like jumping into baseball and like you're like, oh yeah, Yankees, that's like the team.
Yeah.
And so like I jumped in, I'm like, all right, we're all rooting for Cody, let's go, and then I love like family lineage in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Like nepotism in wrestling is like the only acceptable form of nepotism.
Yeah.
So yeah, doing this all for like the ghost of Dusty Rhodes is
it's so incredible.
Everything.
And it doesn't matter at all because John Cena's the fucking GOAT.
Yeah.
You know? It's just, none of it is actually relevant because John Cena is just that good. And I'm so happy he's an asshole now. Because it feels just so cathartic to me. And I feel like I'm about to make a sports reference in a room that is not going to respond. I'm going to look directly into the camera. There's no argument that Kobe is the GOAT, okay? It's just not. You wouldn't even be talking about it if he weren't dead. And I love Kobe, and minus some of the allegations or whatever. The LeBron Michael Jordan argument comes down strictly to rings, right? John Cena is the Wayne Gretzky of every non-hockey sport because there's no fucking argument anymore. He's got more rings. He's got a better career. He's not racist like Hulk Hogan. He's not out here raping people like Ric Flair. John Cena is the undisputed GOAT, and he's the only one in any sport because even Gretzky's about to get passed on some shit. I don't know what it is. I don't live far enough up north to know shit about hockey, okay? But I know that Gretzky's like getting stomped on. So John Cena's the GOAT. I'm mad The Rock didn't show up. I thought Mania was kind of medium.
True. Yeah. Mania. But I think how they go is that like every other Mania is good. So like WrestleMania 40 was kind of good.
Yeah.
So I think it's just part of that never ending WWE storyline where it's just like, yeah, you're going to get a mid WrestleMania, but that's just to hype up the next WrestleMania.
One of my favorite wrestling moments recently was watching with Alex, and there was some gimmick wrestler, and she was like, why don't they have like a wrestling clown? To which I got to reply, and this is true, there was one in the 90s. He's still active on the indies. His name is Doink, and he has a mini version of himself called Dink, and they're killer clowns.
Yeah.
And they wrestle. And she was like, you're fucking lying to me. I'm not.
And like literally terrifying. Like,
Yeah, it's so fucking scary.
Yeah, Doink and Dig, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, who would be the Pope of wrestling?
Yeah, I think it has to be someone who's passed recently, right? Yeah, that's Doink and Dink.
Yep,
Yeah.
Doink and Dink.
I've met them.
Yeah, they're the Pope of wrestling.
It's definitely not Doink. It's got to be Mick Foley. He's like the only person who I think is like nice enough that it would work.
Yeah, Mick Foley's definitely the Pope of wrestling.
Mania was also the 10th anniversary of me meeting Mick Foley because he's my little brother's favorite wrestler of all time. And immediately, like, my whole family was meeting him and everyone else got super starstruck. Fun fact about me, not a feeling that I have. I haven't known shame since I was like a young teenager. So I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to start talking to Mick Foley. We talked about like model trains and shit for like 10 minutes. It was awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. The last little bit of news. Summer's back.
Summer's back.
Yeah. Any big plans?
Pokemon Go type shit.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Hitting the streets hard.
Yeah. I think that's
going to gyms.
That's the key.
Playing the SmackDown.
Yep. Double gyms. Fun fact about me also, I have played a fuck ton of competitive Pokemon. I didn't know that Pokemon Go battling was real. I thought that was for like nerds.
Who's like your top 4 right now on your like Pokemon list? Who's like racking up the wins?
All right. I'm not playing super actively. I fucking love Ferrothorn. I fucking love Buzzwole. I am a huge, huge fan of Diglett. And this is where we got to get really nerdy. So I was like high ladder for Gen 7 Little Cup, which is a Pokemon format where you can only play with like the baby form of Pokemon. Diglett and Volibee are they're like royalty to me. There are family members of mine who I feel less attachment to than those two Pokemon, and it's not even with like a hint of remorse.
And then unlike and then in the main series games, who are you choosing? The leaf or the water or the fire guy?
Fire, water, grass. I'm usually going fire. Now what I'll do a lot of the time if I'm starting a game is I'll make someone else choose for me. But I find a lot of grass Pokemon to be kind of dumb. I also see Bulbasaur's too easy mode, and I'm scared of plants. I think we need to be more worried about bugs and plants, because understanding evolution, right? The more generations you have, the more chance you have to evolve. So the flies this summer will be significantly better bred to survive us than the flies last summer. My mom, when I was a teenager, bought a Venus flytrap, and she was like, stick your hand in it. It can't eat you. And I was like, you're the one who fucking showed me Little Shop of Horrors, okay? And I know that thing only lives for like a couple years. We're going to get 10 generations of those in one of my lifetime if I'm lucky, right? That thing will evolve to fucking eat me. I'm not going to test it out now.
Exactly. Feed me, Seymour. And on that note, thank y'all. Love y'all.
Thank you.
We're
Love
Paper
you.
Moon, Hell Yeah Lit. Our socials are at paper_moon_Troy,
Hell yeah.
at Hell Yeah Lit on Instagram.
Big thanks to Reckless Barb, Reckless_Barb, right?
Yes.
For the production.
The Hafener sisters can be found at Miss Shelby Jane on Instagram and at Belle Curve at the.bell.curves and at Delaney J. Hafener on Instagram.
And if you follow both of them, they become a Holner.
Thank you. Good night.
We're done. You have to read that book on fucking the extinctions.
I
talked about that.
I have a copy of it, and I swore off of it, and you might be convincing me. You got assigned to me by